Everybody good? In December 2002, the Smalls, who are here with me, got that call that any parent does not want to get, that something's happened to your child. Their son was murdered. You can't imagine the pain that parents feel when something like that happens. It's suffering that really never goes away. But there's ways that we can lessen that, and that's one was to arrest the person that was responsible for the murder of their son. That was Jeriod Price. The next step was him go to court, where he was convicted, and he was sentenced to prison for 35 years. That did not change the fact that their son was no longer there. Mr. Smalls will tell you that to visit their son, they have to go to the cemetery. They remember that night very well. They remember the trial. They remember everything that happened since then. And they felt like the criminal justice system had served justice until 45 days ago, when they learned that the system had failed them, and had failed them miserably. And the nightmares that they've had came back full force. Mrs. Smalls has not slept since they learned that Price had been released. The pain and suffering that they had right now is because of our criminal justice system and the failure that we had. We can fix some of that. It started being fixed yesterday when our Supreme Court overruled the order that said Price was a free man. For 45 days, he has been out, enjoying life that he did not deserve to enjoy. That's not where he should have been. It's not where he should have been, but he has enjoyed that. Yesterday, the Supreme Court changed that. Yesterday, Price had the opportunity to turn himself in. He has not done that. He is now fugitive, and we're actively looking for him. In a minute, you're going to hear from the Smalls, and I want you to pay attention to the pain in their voice and the pain that you see on their face. But we can fix that. We can help do that. And that's people who are watching this. Someone knows where Price is at. Someone knows that can help us put him where he needs to be, and that's back behind bars. And if money is your motivation, Sheriff's Department's putting up $5,000 for information leading to his arrest. That's in addition to what Crime Stoppers will pay you. The Richland County Sheriff's Department will pay you $5,000. We can put your name on that check right there for the arrest of Price. This family needs your help. This family needs to get back on that road to recovery, not the road that they're on right now, which is still pain that every minute that Price is out in our community, he is a danger to our community, but he is causing suffering to this family behind me. We can stop that. We can put a stop to it by having him back behind bars where he deserves to be. So we have a very active investigation. We have multiple agencies that are coordinating this. Our fugitive team, Department of Corrections, SLED, we're all working together as one team, coordinating all of our efforts, but we're actively looking for him. But we don't need him caught 6 months from now. We need him caught now. So my prayer, my plea to someone out there, help us. Help this family behind me. Let's put Price back in jail where he needs to be so they can go back and go back home. Mrs. Smalls can have a good night's sleep, and they can go visit their son and know that justice is being served. Help us. Make that phone call. Call Crime Stoppers. Call your local agency. I don't care who you call, but get the call to us in law enforcement, so we can find Price and put him in jail. He's not going to turn himself in. We have to go catch him. And that's all of us in this community can do that. So at this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Smalls to come up and say a few words.
Yeah, good afternoon. And here we go again. dealing with Jeriod Price. Just want to give you an pretty much how this all started. Way back December 6, 2002. And Friday afternoon, we were going car shopping for, our son was in college, but our daughter was in college also. And we were going to buy a car for our son. But talking to the dealer, he was going to allow us to be able to buy a car for both of them. You know, life was great at that time. I got 2 kids in college. Life is good. Life is great. So I went to bed that night, Friday night, went to bed thinking, feeling good. I'm getting ready to do something good for both of my kids. God has blessed us. They're doing good. They're both in school. And we're well enough off to be able to afford it. Going to get in a lot of debt, but we were going to handle it. So I went to bed feeling good. Friday night, 6 o'clock, Saturday morning, December 7th, we get that call like the chef said, nobody want to get. Just hear her voice screaming and hollering. I still see that, I still hear that. So I went from going to bed, feeling good. Saturday morning, I'm going to take care of my kids. I go from Friday, feeling good, to Saturday afternoon, about 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, after they brought his body back to Charleston, looking up at a sign, and I still see that sign right there. That said, Feelings Home for Funerals. So I go from Friday, feeling great, life is great, to Saturday, I'm in a funeral home. And that's how it all started. December 7th, 2002. And here we are today, still dealing with this one individual, Jeriod Price. The pain doesn't go away. We get this phone call, and once again, we're doing fine. You know, we both retired, we're home taking care of business. We get a call from the gracious Department Advocate's office, from the gracious lady, and saying, I got some news for you. It's going to be hard to take. And that just turned everything all over again. Our life been turned upside down all over again. It's like a spin cycle in a washing machine. You know, you're bouncing from side to side. You know, thankfully that we got faith in God. We're faith-based people. And we got that to hold on to our faith, the strength of God to hold on to while we're spinning around. And life just hasn't been the same, man. Like you say, we get no sleep. We're consumed with this. Day in and day out. You go to bed with this, you wake up with this. It never goes away. And our son, I mean, it's just little things that you may see. Coming up here, I might hear a song on the radio that he liked. Little things like that. You know, people, you don't want to go through this. And that's why we're here. We're here standing with the sheriff department because we want to be a voice. We want people to see there's victims behind this. You know, it's just not nameless, famous people. That there are people that's hurting, and that's us, and there's many other people that's going through the same thing. You know, fortunately, this case is because our son was an athlete, this case has brought enough attention and focus on it that maybe we can get something done to help people. But you know, in reality, because my son was an athlete, it doesn't make him no better than anybody else. He's a human being, just like everyone else, just like any other kid. Any other son or daughter that's been murdered, or mother or father that have to go through this. So we standing here with the sheriff department, and we ask, please, if anybody know anything, please speak up. You don't want to go through this, and we all need to work together as the citizens. Help each other so we can be safe. You know, we have got to work together on this. If you know something, say something. Speak out. This man needs to be off the street. You know, the department down in downtown Columbia, they just made his job much harder. Much harder. Deputy chief job, much harder. Let's help them. And we stand here today because we want to thank them. Thank him and all the men and women that put their life on the line. I think they're helping us. They're working on our behalf, on this family, but they're working on everyone's behalf. So we all need to get together and help them. We don't want to go through this. And once again, I thank you. I thank the sheriff department for having us up here. And please, if you know something, anyone out there, You know, we've been going through this since 2002, and here we are again. And hopefully we can get him back behind bars and put an end to this. And the last thing I would say, and I would talk to all young men out there, there's an old saying back in the old country where I come from in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, that says you don't want to make your mama cry. Please, fellas, don't do that. Don't make your mama cry. While you're out there being hooligans or you just want to be roughing, rowdying, whatever you want to do, think about your mama. Think about what they go through, because you are always your mama's baby. You're always. And that's what she's going through right now. Our son will be 43 years old on September 29th. But our son is still her baby in the ground. If you know something, say something. Help the department and help ourselves. Let's be help to one another. Let's bring an end to this. Well, you may not bring an end to it, but we can stem the tide, and it can start right now. If you know where Jeriod Price is at, say something. Thank you.
I don't think I need to say anything else. Help this family. Help this family. Somebody make that phone call. If you need money, there's the money. We'll write you the check if that's what you need. But just look at these two parents back here. Look at this mother and see what she's going through. Somebody call. Let's get Price back where he needs to be, behind bars. Questions?
The AG's office, they were concerned that he would be a flight risk once they requested the bench warrant. Were you monitoring Price? Was anyone monitoring him during this time before the hearing?
We had a little bit of information, but we didn't know where he was at. And so, again, yesterday was the day to turn yourself in if he was going to do it. So he is considered a fugitive, so we are actively looking for him.
What have y'all done so far as the investigation, like knocked on any family members' doors, anything like that? Is there anything that makes us believe that Price is in the Columbia area?
I'm not going into details of what we're doing, but I'll tell you there's not anything that needs to be done that we're not doing it. And again, it's a coordinated effort. It's just not the Richland County Sheriff's Department. This was our case. We investigated this case. We, prosecuted the case with the solicitor's office. So this is our case. That's why they're here with us today. We have a personal interest in this case because of this family behind us. We've been with them since day one. So we're doing everything we can. There's not anything going to be left that we shouldn't have done. So we're actively looking for him.
Since he did not turn himself in yesterday and is considered a fugitive today, does that mean additional charges, or what exactly would that mean?
No, it just means that he's on the run and we're after him. And that's why we need people's help. That's the point. We'll eventually catch him. Everybody gets caught. It doesn't matter how far you run or what rock you hide under. We're going to eventually find you. But we don't need that to happen in the future. We need to happen right now. Look at this family behind me. They need some peace. They need some peace of mind. And that's why we're appealing to people. Money you need, just whatever. Just do it. We need to get him in jail immediately. Immediately.
Sheriff, you have at least 3 fugitive teams out there, Department of Corrections, you, SLED. Who is coordinating that? Who specifically is coordinating that to make sure that you all are not stepping on each other's toes and covering the same ground?
Because it's one team.
Who's in charge of that?
There's really don't have to be anybody in charge because they are.
Coach. So who's in charge of it, with all respect?
We have 3 coaches from 3 different agencies, and those 3 coaches are all talking to each other, and everybody knows what everybody's doing. So it's not Sheriff's Department doing one thing, Department of Corrections doing something, SLED doing something. It's one team together.
Do you have any leads at this point as to where he could be or a place you're starting?
No, we really don't. And that's what makes it difficult. He's had 45 days now of freedom to do whatever and make a plan. And since last week when all this came to light, I think at that point he probably realized what was going to happen. So you can only imagine what his plans have been since last week when he he started seeing some handwriting on the wall. So we're a little behind, but we'll catch up. But we can catch up a lot faster if somebody will just call us and give us that tip. You don't even have to let us know who, if you don't want the money and you don't want anybody to know, you can do that too. The point is, we just need that information. So get us where he's at. We'll go get him. And we'll get him very quickly too.
Could he be out of South Carolina?
We don't know. Again,
So he could be.
he could be anywhere in the world. But I will tell you that, it doesn't matter where he's at in this world, we're going to go find him. And we're going to go get him. We're not going to rest, and we're not going to stop until we bring some more closure to this family. This system's failed them. The criminal justice failed them miserably. And we need to do everything we can now to fix that. And I will tell you, this is a priority when it comes to not only us, but the other agencies involved. This is the number one priority right now. This is what everybody's talking about. Everybody knows about this case. They know about the injustice, and they know that he's a wanted man. So let's go find him.
And Sheriff, you reiterated 45 days. Price has been out for 45 days. So for
40,
45
my bad, 43 days.
43
40.
days. So for 43 days, a convicted killer with strong ties to the blood gang has been out on the loose, on the streets. Who was to blame for that?
Well, I'm not going to worry about the blame game right now on how it came about that he's out. The fact is, though, that was fixed yesterday where the Supreme Court ruled that he doesn't need to be out, and go find him. Right now, that's the priority. The blame game on how this happened and who was responsible, I think that'll handle itself. I think when you look at the testimony and facts that's been presented, those chips will fall where they may. Right now, though, the most important thing is getting him caught. There's Crime Stoppers number, you can call that, but we got his pictures up there too. So this is what he looks like. Let's get him.
If someone out there does know his whereabouts and is holding information from you guys, could they face any consequences?
Yeah, if they know he's wanted fugitive and they're not, they harboring a fugitive, yeah, they're gonna get locked up too. I mean, we're not playing games. We're not playing games whatsoever with this. Look at this family behind me. That's why we're not playing games.
Sheriff, as you said, it's a hot topic, and everyone has known that this could have been, this could have happened. So how is it that no one knows where he is?
Well, because we only found out last week that he was out. He'd been out for a while before
How
we.
did you find out?
Somebody called and said that they'd heard that he was out, and then we checked, and yeah, he was out. And that was a shock to this family, a shock to us. Just something that nobody thought would happen, and it should not have happened. I will say that much. It should not have happened, but now we're fixing it.
Do you have any idea that he could be armed and dangerous out there, a threat to other people?
He's already killed a person. He's already killed their son. I think common sense tell you, yeah, he's dangerous. He's a killer. He is a killer. He is a very vicious killer. So yes, he is very dangerous. He is a threat to this community, anywhere else that he is. My greatest fear is that somebody else is going to get hurt. That somebody else may die because of what happened and that he was released. That is one of my greatest fears, is that we lose somebody else. We've already lost someone else, someone that shouldn't have been lost, and their son. He's out there. He's very capable of doing that. We know it. We've proved it, and he's been convicted of it.
You have a gang intelligence unit. What do they tell you about whether the Bloods would regard him as a hot potato, or could they take him in and shuffle him on some kind of underground conveyor belt?
Well, there's gangs and criminals. They'll turn on each other. Sometimes all it takes is a few dollars to turn on someone.
Do you think a Blood could turn him in?
I don't care who it is. It could be a Blood. I don't care who it is. The fact is, let's get him and let's put him in jail. That's what we need to do.
But could a Blood turn him in?
They could. Anybody could turn him in. All right. Thank y'all so much.